Introduction to Events. Dear listeners, today we will talk about event industry. This is the first episode in the series of lecture on event management. In this episode, we will learn about events, their types, classification and advantages of organizing events. For your convenience, this episode is divided into 5 segments which are called as objectives. Objectives. Firstly, to develop understanding of events, to identify benefits of events in our life, to provide categorization of events, to understand and appreciate the economic, social, cultural and political impacts of events, to acquaint oneself with characteristics of events. Introduction and definitions. Events are an integral part of our life. We all celebrate different types of events throughout our life, be it your birthday, marriage or a function to celebrate your achievements. They have been celebrated since time immemorial by people of different era and ages. In ancient times, all the earlier kingdoms used to celebrate various religious festivals in the form of a big public event. The same has been followed since, and in India many festivals like Holi in Braj, Diwali through Melas, Onam in Kerala and Rathayatra in Puri are still celebrated with great pomp and show by the whole community. Important dates like changing of season, phases of moon, etc. have always been marked by celebration by people of different religions. Important historical milestones like war, victories or birth of royals or saints were commemorated with organization of public event where the whole kingdom or town would come together for celebration. In Greece, the royal temple organized Olympic festival every year and all the citizens used to participate. Both in private and public life, people or society feels the need to mark the important happening in their life to celebrate key moments. The earlier mentioned examples were of large public events by state and attended by all citizens. Humans have been celebrating personal events since long time which involves family and friends. Birthdays, naming ceremonies, weddings, anniversary, etc. fall into this category. In today's world, along with public or personal events, we now have corporate events which are connected to the corporate world. Every day, trade shows, training, marketing, human resource development, sport and athletic and other corporate events are held throughout the world. With corporations exporting their products and services to the global markets, the corporate event industry has exploded. So, we can see here that events have always been and will always be an integral part of our lives. Moving further, now let's focus our attention to some definition of events and understand what basic characteristics make up an event. A special event recognizes a unique moment in time with ceremony and ritual to satisfy specific needs. Goldblatt 1990 is an opportunity for leisure, social or cultural experience outside the normal range of choices or beyond everyday experience. Getz 1991 and 2005. From these two definitions, we can summarize that for an event to be an event, it should always possess two basic characteristics which are: firstly, it has to be a non-routine activity which is set apart from the normal activity of daily life. Secondly, that non-routine activity should possess a specific purpose like celebration, entertainment, enlightenment, networking, etc. Based on the type of purpose, events can be categorized which would study further. Types of events. Now we will bring our attention to classification of events. There are different types of events that are being organized and some of them fall into multi-category. We can categorize events into many ways, but here we will try broadly categorize events under 3 types. Events can be categorized on the basis of size, purpose and on form and content. Starting with the first type of categorization, that is based on purpose. This type of classification was given by Schoen and Parry in 2004. They divided different types of events on the basis of the purpose for which the events are being organized. They categorized events under 4 main purposes. First category is personal events like birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, etc., where the purpose is to celebrate some personal achievements or milestones of a person or families. These are mostly private events with small gathering including friends and families. Second category is leisure events, which are organized for the purpose of recreation and entertainment. These may include fests, cultural evening or sports competitions. These type of events may vary in size and complexity. Third category of event is cultural events, which involve events associated with tradition and rituals. Religious and folk festivals fall under this category. Fourth category of event is organizational events like product launch, trade exhibition or auctions. The main purpose behind these events is commercial in nature. Though we have divided events into 4 purposes, it is very crucial to keep in mind when considering this categorization that there are frequent overlaps. No single event can have a single purpose. A main purpose is associated with other purposes. For example, Diwali Mela celebrated by a company may be organizational event for the organizers, but may be cultural or leisure event for the attendees. Moving on to the next type of categorization, which is based on size. The size here means the number of people attending the event and the scale at which the event has been organized. On the basis of size, events can be divided into local, major, hallmark and mega events. This categorization differs on the number of audience attracted by the events and the impact the event creates. As we can see from the figure, as we move further from local to mega events, the size and impacts increases. As the size increases, it means number of audience, stakeholders, cost involved, benefits, etc. also increases. For example, a small village fest is a local event that involves local community only, but festivals like Rath Yatra in Puri or Kumbh Mela are hallmark events which involve people from everywhere and involve huge amount of cost and logistics. We can take one more example here. Ranji Trophy or a state level cricket tournament are major events, but events like Olympics are mega event as they involve the whole world. So, depending upon the size and scale of event, we can categorize the events. Another common means of classifying events is by their form or content. They can be categorized into sporting events like Olympics, cricket championship, Wimbledon, inter-school sports meet, etc., where the main activity is sports competition. Second category is of cultural events which are organized for entertainment or art like local art, fairs or music concerts. Third category of event is marketing and promotional events like product launch, and roadshows. The aim of these events to promote one's product and create business networking. Next category is meetings and exhibitions, which also has the basic purpose of networking and business promotion. Festivals are next category of events. These may be religious or cultural festivals. Next event category is family functions like weddings, anniversaries, naming ceremonies or graduation parties. They are as means for family and friends get together. Some of the events which cannot be categorized under above mentioned heading can be put under miscellaneous events. With modernization, many new types of events are coming into play, such as dog fashion shows, fishing fiesta, etc. Characteristics of events. Now we will discuss the various characteristics of events. As I mentioned, for an activity to be termed as events, it needs to be unique and non-routine activity. There are some more characteristics of events. These characteristics are uniqueness, perishability, labor intensiveness, fixed time scales, intangibility, personal interaction, ambience, and ritual or ceremony as given by Anton Schoen and Brian Parry. Let's discuss them in details. Uniqueness. As discussed earlier, a very important characteristic of event is its uniqueness. Each event is different from another in one way or another. Even if an event is repeated periodically, it will not be same. Even if the venue or theme is same, participants, suppliers or weather may not be same. Thus, each event would have its own unique sets of variables adding to its unique experience. Perishability. This term is used in marketing to describe the way in which service capacity cannot be stored for scale in the future. Same applies for events also. This implies to the fact that if an event is scheduled on a particular date, then would happen that day and cannot be stored or kept for the participants for another day who were not able to attend that event. For example, if you miss your conference, then you cannot expect to attend the same one day later. You might attend any other conference, but it would not be same to the one you missed. So events are very perishable in nature and cannot be kept for future. Intangibility. A thing is said to be intangible if you are not able to touch it or it has no physical presence. When you buy, let's say, a bat, you are buying something tangible which you can hold in your hands and feel. But events are intangible in nature. When you attend an event or buy a ticket to an event, all you get the experience of attending the event. The only tangible thing would be the ticket in your hand or the merchandise that you purchase. But all the activities that you participate in or performance you see are intangible in nature and are received in the form of experience. Ritual and ceremony. All type of follow certain kind of rituals or ceremonies. These rituals can be of long holding tradition from ancient or medieval times or new rituals crafted as the event took shape. Harvest festivals like Thanksgiving in America in October or November or Lohri in India are long-standing festivals celebrated since long time with a set of rituals. Modern events like award ceremonies or food fest all have their own set of rituals. Ambience and service. For an event to be successful, right ambience and service is very essential. As we know that events are intangible in nature, ambience of the event is very important as it adds to the overall experience of the attendees. Personal events like birthday or friend get together may require less effort in setting up the ambience. However, leisure or organizational events hugely depend on ambience for their success. Music, lights, decoration, color theme, etc. all add to the ambience of an event. Personal interaction. As we all know that events bring people together. During an event, a group of people come together to attend or participate in the event. They interact with each other and form social bonding. A happy interacting group of people add to the atmosphere of the event, thus elevating the overall event experience. The spectators of a cricket match are not just watching the game but are also interacting with each other. On a 6 or 4, they all shout together and encourage the team. An event is only successful if there are people attending it and they are fulfilling the purpose for which they have gathered. A birthday party with nice cake and room decoration is incomplete without friends and family singing the birthday song. So, events bring people together, fostering networking and relation with interaction. Labor intensive. Event industry is a very labor intensive industry. As the size and complexity of the event increases, the number of people required to make it happen also increases. A fundraising gala dinner would not only require cooking staff but also staff to serve it, venue staff to manage and decorate the venue, parking staff to manage the vehicles, users and escorts to manage the crowd, security personnel to keep a check safety and security etc. As the number of attendees or number of days or activities in an event increases, the requirement for staff to handle it also increases. A large number of vendors, suppliers, volunteers, etc. come together to make an event a success. Fixed time scale. Time is of crucial importance in events. All the preparation and execution has to be done on time to successfully manage the event. For example, if you do not purchase the raw material for food or do not start preparing the food on time for a gala dinner, the dinner would get delayed, leading to impatient crowd. Likewise, if you do not send invitation on time, then there are chances of no one turning up at your event because they did not get the invites. So, doing things according to fixed time scale is very important for event industry. Impacts of event. Now, let's focus our attention to various impacts of events. Events have a great degree of impacts as they are a human intensive industry where a large number of people are touched by it. Due to these great numbers of impacts, events have become important for all countries and are being organized worldwide. Events have socio-cultural, economic, political and development impacts as given by Gates. We will discuss these impacts one by one. Starting with socio-cultural impacts, we all are aware that human beings are social animals. They need social bonding and cannot sustain in isolation. In today's modern world where family size has been reduced and technology has reduced human touch to a minimum, events provide an opportunity to strengthen social bonds and integration. Mega or hallmark events provide an opportunity for a large number of people from different cultural backgrounds to come together. This enables cross-cultural interaction leading to better social tolerance. 51,54,000 people from different nationalities attended the event. Events like these allowed the host community and guests. So the socio-cultural impacts of events are: firstly, better social bonds, as events provide an opportunity for people to meet and interact. Community cohesion and well-being by bringing everyone together. Better cross-cultural understanding through international events. Increased social tolerance. Increased community pride is a result of any successful event. Better awareness of a cause through events which highlight a cause like fundraiser for cancer. Events have a direct social impact on participants and host community. Economic impacts. Events, irrespective of the scale, involve a lot of stakeholders. For a successful event, a large number of people are engaged. For example, in a wedding, you can see a caterer preparing the meal, tent and decorators decorating the venue, a florist arranging the bouquets, a priest performing the wedding or wedding band entertaining the guest. These are just some of the people employed for the wedding that you see on a wedding day. But there are more like dresser, beauty parlor, market, hotel, etc., which are indirectly connected to the wedding and are benefited by it. So, this is a very small example which shows that for a single event, number of vendors are engaged. An event directly and indirectly has a huge economic impact on local business and service providers. It also helps the local government of the destination as people pay taxes on various purchases, which increases government revenue, which is then spent on the community, thus again benefiting everyone. For example, a person going to a film festival in Goa would not only spend his money on event ticket but would also help the economy by spending on transport to reach the venue, on hotel where he is staying, on shopping in local market or restaurants, etc. So, we can see here that events have huge direct and indirect economic impacts as it involves various service providers who provide services at various levels. So, the economic impacts of events are: firstly, direct economic benefits to people connected to the events. Economic benefits to local business. Foreign exchange earnings if the event involves international visitors who would exchange their currency into local currency. Increased tax revenue for the government through various taxes on services. Job creation for people directly and indirectly involved with the event. Political impact. In earlier times, events had a great political usage. Rulers or kingdoms used to organize events on grand scale where the whole kingdoms along with the neighboring kings or rulers were invited. The number of people attending the event was the symbol of the ruler's power. Neighboring kings who would attend the event were considered allies, thus political relations were maintained through these events. For example, Roman emperors organized huge events and scale of spectators was attached to the status of the king. In modern times, hallmark or major events have a huge political impact. Successful completion of Commonwealth Games in India in 2010 showcased India as an emerging nation capable of managing such events. This improved the image of India from the country of snake charmers to a young developing nation with technology and infrastructure. This further increased foreign direct investment to India, resulting from better political relations and policy formation. Political impacts of events could be summarized as: events help in building a positive image for the destination. It helps in improving international prestige. With better image, events help in attracting foreign investments. Events help in fostering political relationships between countries, which leads to formation of better international policies. Developmental impacts. For a destination, events are sometimes a medium of infrastructural development and restoration. Organization of events like sports tournaments leads to either renovation of an existing sports stadium or leads to construction of new stadium or sports arena. For example, in 2012, Olympic was organized in London. For this, a 80,000 seat Olympic stadium was constructed in Stratford, East London. This stadium served as the major venue for the games, and after the events it would be used by the local population for their sports need. Mega or major events which attract large number of people from outside the city or country leads to betterment of roads, construction of more flyovers or hotels, etc. to serve the need of the event. For example, in London 2012 Olympics, a Olympic village with 2,800 accommodation units, an aquatic center for swimming, 10 railway lines, 30 new bridges were constructed and arranged. These entire infrastructures were constructed to meet the needs of event participants and visitors. So, organization of events at a place leads to development of infrastructure at the destination, which leads to betterment of society. After the event, all the developed infrastructure is used by the local community. Now, we can say here that events have many positive impacts ranging from social, economic, political to development. Depending upon the scale of events, these impacts also vary. But all these positive impacts may go haywire if events are not planned and executed properly. And ill-planned events leads to event failure, which has huge negative impacts. Event failure can lead to huge economic loss, bad community image, damage to community culture or environment. So, to gain from events, it is very important to do proper event planning, about which we will learn in further episodes. Thank you.